So, okay, let me pull up my VS Code. Oh, okay. So this is a new project. So I don't want to hide this. Let me just move it in. Okay. So we are starting a new fresh project. So what do we name this project now? Bisola, what do we name this project? Oago, what do we name it?
Responsive design.
Or introduction to responsive design.
Okay, yeah, introduction will be at least.
Okay. So you guys can help me along the line. So the first thing we start with, we all know, is our index.html.
Style dots.
Yes. So the next thing is our style. Yes. Yes. So we go back to our index.html. So we pull up our templates. I'm waiting for it to load. So I just clicked and we have this. So I want to rename my title to responsive design intro. Okay. Then I save. The other thing I want to do is to link my CSS. So link, I'm waiting for it to load CSS. So we have this. I always like doing this. Yeah. And then let's view with live server.
Lucky. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to just cut off. I noticed something in that video also. This link you just did, the guy didn't use dots. He was just using slash, and he would just, without the dot, he just the way yes, where your cursor is right now. And he was linking. That's how he used it, exactly like that. So it
that
works. Okay.
too. That works too. But I'm
Okay.
comfortable with these dots.
Okay. I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to know both of them works. Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I know what I'm saying.
You know, you said something one certain time that you like putting that dot slash because once you put it, all the stuff in your file will just appear.
Yes, yes.
So
The same thing was applicable to the video we watched. If I don't know if you took notes, when the guy puts just the slash, the same thing, just like this, it will appear too without the dot. It worked also.
Abraham.
Yes,
So,
please.
you know, this is just HTML. So this might work with HTML, but trust me, you will still get to JavaScript. You will still get to React. You still do backend, like Node.js and all those things. And just embrace this culture because it will help you. Because if you are used to this, let's say when you start working on React now and you do this, you get something else. Or JavaScript, you get something else. So it's like it's just from personal experience. I decide to go with this approach. So if I'm working with JavaScript or anything, I know that I am safe. Then you now begin to see errors upon errors and all of that. So just I would advise go with this approach.
Do that.
So this is just based on my personal experience. Like when you start to work with other technologies. So the only technologies you know now is HTML and CSS. You still work with some other, next week you'll be working with Bootstrap. So you still work with some other technologies, and you don't want to get used to a pattern and then start relearning something else. So the first thing we are going to do is, so looking at this now, okay, we say we are doing our mobile first. I initially wanted to break this down, but let me break it down. Let me do it on the, let me just do this on the way. So I won't just start to code immediately. So what I'm doing, please, you can do it with your pen. You mustn't like use figma.com. So you can do it with your pen. And if you want to use figma.com, you can just go, you want to learn how to use Figma, go to YouTube, like Figma, learn Figma in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So if you are the design type or you still like graphics, why you code. So, so now this is, I won't even go ahead and start writing div or section or this without looking at my design and planning my work. So I don't know if you get me. I won't even start. Like before I will write one code, though I might, if I'm working on a professional, like on a project now, I wouldn't have to do this. So I can conceptualize it on my head and know that, oh, this is a section for me. This is a whole section for me. And this is another section for me. So for me now, I'll create like 3 sections here. So this is like this is my navbar. So this now is like a div. I always explain this, that look at everything as a box. So this is like my div. This is like another div. So, but I won't let them sit side by side. I just want to create it out so that you can see. This is another div. Let me give it a different color. And this is another div. So I'm trying to break down this design, because sometimes you guys will ask that, how do you know that I should give 20 pixels? How do you know I should use a div here? How do you know I should use? So this is where the concept all came from. So look at my design now. I just broke it down. I have like like the first one that you saw here, this one, let me move it to the front. This one that is the background. Oh, it's too close. So let me move this up a little. Yeah. So this is like my background now. Let me move it to the front. So this is like my body. Did you get it?
Yes.
Good. So this is my body now. Let me move it back to the back. Now, this is my navbar. Though we know that they are closing, there's no space. But for illustration purpose, I'm just explaining this. This is my navbar inside my body. So this is like a section or a div. This is another div, which is like the container. Do you get it? This is the footer. So I have like 3 main sections here. Inside this section now, I can now say, oh, now I can see that for this one, I see this, what is it called? I could create another container for the, what is it called? In the same, so this is like another div now. Let me give it, sorry, it's already a different color. So let me give it a color. So this is how you plan out your work. Like this now is a container. I've not even gone to add my this thing. So with this, I can put all of this inside a container. Now, before I can now say, oh, this is like I'll just say this is my, like a logo, and this is, I'll
stop.
So please follow this approach. This now can be my nav items. So this is how I plan my work ahead of time. While on this point, what am I going to, so so if I ask you now, based on this approach, what do you think the next one now? Should I just create this direct? Or what do you think is the next approach? Should I just do this?
I think you should do this one, then use a flex, display flex to make it into 3.
So do you think this is a good approach? Bisola?
Can I talk?
Is Bisola on this call at all?
Bisola, Jera is low. I want to keep you on Jera.
I'm speaking from, you are far from your mic.
I'm not. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm using my earpod. That's why.
So do you think?
Okay, so I said. What did you say?
So answer the question.
So I said it should be in a div.
Which div?
It should be in like this one, this container. This should have like another container.
Oh, yes. So this should be like, oh, sorry. I just wanted to drag it over. So I think, let me change the color. So you should have like a container like this. So which might span to the top and span to the bottom. So instead of just doing it straight, so with this, you know the number of div you should have, like that should be on a page. So do you guys understand it now? Is it confusing? Then you now have this one at the center. So you can see how we broke this down. Any question? So what we've first...
I want to ask,
yeah.
Before doing this one now, I think there should be a section that will bring every of your work to the center first. You understand? So yeah, a section that will bring this work now to the center, because I remember what happened to me last time, Sha. You can't just start building in a plot of land without fencing it. So I think there should be something like fencing, that this work now will now be inside that fence.
Which fence? I don't get.
This is our design now. You've done the design already. You understand? But I think that there should be a section that will cover the whole building.
Ago, let me do this. I'm trying to understand you, but request for control so that you can show me what you are talking about. Are you like, see what I'm doing now? I noticed, so I'm so that we can follow along. So I'm trying to like do like a breakdown of the steps so that we'll see the way the div, like I'm planning everything out. It shouldn't be as if, oh, like what is going on here? So that's why I'm trying to duplicate and, oh shit. So, sorry, what are you saying? Agu,
I'm with you. See, look at.
have you requested for control?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Let me. Okay, I think you can control my system now.
Okay, what I'm asking, can you see my cursor?
No. Click on the screen and then move. Yes.
Okay. This design now, for instance, if you make this design, you might find out that this design might not be at the center. It might either be at the left-hand side or right-hand side.
Okay.
But if there is something like section that you created, you now align that section to the center, maybe using margin octo. So that's it. That stuff now will now be in the center. You now know that all the works that you'll be doing will now be
within that section.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, good. So that was the idea of creating this plan. So this is like the wireframe for what we are about to do. So I think if you have this picture, you will be able, and once you're able to analyze design like this, you can then go to your HTML and write your HTML and structure it properly, and you will not have any problem. So that what you said is this second. So this is like, let me add the text. This is like your main section. Like you have 3 different sections. 3 sections. So here we introduce the container. So this is like the 3 rows on the navbar, the content, and then the footer, which is navbar, content, and then footer. Now, for this other part, we looked at our design and we saw that, oh, these ones are within a boundary, like within a border. And so we had to introduce another div. This is the second div on top of the footer, which is like a container that I think this is what you are talking about. Can you see? Then even on the second row, that is the main container, we now, the main section rather, we have the middle. So we created another container to put everything within the center spot, which is what we have here. And then we didn't do this for the footer because we are not observing any boundary to the left or to the right. But if the footer has look like this, let's say this content now, like we have something like this to the left, like something to the left, and then we are moving this other, like creating some other things to the right of it, like maybe our social media page, then we would have created another container at the footer. But since what we have is just we just want it to be at the center, then it's fine. We don't need to put any container, and we just drop it and then put text align center or something, and then we have it. So these ones are now the 3rd level of where we are now dropping our content and every other stuff. Like, does it make sense?
Okay, so what I just said is this first one.
No, it's this second one. It's not the first one. That is this one. What you said is about placing things at the center using margin auto, which is this is a div now inside another div. Are we on the same page?
Maybe let's just further ahead. Maybe later we'll talk.
So since we're doing mobile first, oh my God, this is like 1 hour ago. So since we are doing mobile first, let me do the let me break down the mobile this thing too, just the same way I broke this down. So we have this for our footer. So I want to give it the same color. So, oh, what am I doing this? So let me create another rectangle. Then we have another one. So with time, when you're able to conceptualize your work, you don't have to do this. Trust me, I don't do this. But for learning purpose, like I just have to do this so that you guys will be able to interpret design. So this is the first stage. And then for this one is super easy. Yes, for here, we'll still need to create our container. So you might be wondering, why do I still need to create container? Yes, we still have to create it for, even for the mobile view too. Because if you don't do it, in fact, all of this thing you are doing, it will shine when you are doing, like with this, with what we're about to do. So we still need to create our container div. So let me style it. I want to use the same color scheme like this. So I'm creating another one. So from top to this point. Oh, okay, I'll duplicate it. So please pardon my this thing. So pardon me that is not well aligned towards the center, but we know what we are solving for. So let me do this. And you see how we would interpret all of this to code here. So this one now is just the content we are adding. So we have 3 contents. Then we have this. Let me just drag this. So this is just like the process we'll go through. You see how we'll code up 1, 2, 3. Then we had container to the navbar and the main session. And then we'll now add. So all these are how our HTML will be planned out. So do we have any question before we get done? So I'm not going into details. We've done all of this. And that's why we just kept it simple. We've done, like, I don't think there's anybody on this code that cannot do a border-rounded image and all of this. So without further ado, let's get going. So this one, these are first step. So this is like step 1, step 2, step 3. So we are creating 3D. So, but let's do section. Section. So we are creating 3 sections, right? Sorry, I want to use shortcuts, sorry. So section dot navbar. Then another section, which is like the main. So I'll call it main. Sorry, this nav, not navbar. Then the third section, which is footer. So you can see how my design is telling me the approach to take. 1, 2, 3. We are done with this one now. So step 2, we have to create another div in the navbar. So for this one, we open this one and then we'll do a div. And remember, this is container div. So we'll call it container. So we'll leave it like that. We'll replicate the same container is what we are using. Yeah. So I leave this one for now. So we've completed this and this. Are we together or are we together? So we've completed these 2 now. Because remember, it's mobile first design we are doing. So we are starting with this. And then this is the third part where we'll place the content into it. So we'll start with our navbar. We only have 3 contents, 1, 2, 3. So, and the approach, okay, see, oh, sorry, I'm mixing it. So we have 3 contents, which they are stacking on top of each other, 1, 2, 3. So we have, so let me do this. Let me drag this into this. Yeah. So the third part now is the navbar, which we're adding the content. That is step 3. So what are we doing? We're adding
we need the picture.
Yes. So let me pull up from WhatsApp. Oh, this one wasn't shared with you guys. Okay, sorry.
No.
Okay. Okay. So sorry. Let me export it. So you guys are learning Figma too. You didn't pay for Figma class, so Bisola.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We didn't collect money for Figma, so we need to add it to their people.
Okay, boss.
They are learning Figma for free. Okay.
So, I think you can just send the image on our Zoom. I will send it to the Slack channel.
Yes, I just downloaded it now. Ooh. No, I didn't group it. So it's coming in bits instead of group. Oh,
so Lucky.
Yeah, I can hear you.
See now, from your HTML, what I was saying then is this. We have 3 sections already. You understand? Now, all these sections, I think it should be inside a section.
Inside the main section?
Yes.
Why?
So that your work will be, it's not as if I'm teaching you work. I'm just trying to ask.
And that's why I'm asking
so that,
why.
Okay, so that your work will be at the center.
Okay, I think I understand what Agu is saying. Like what we used to do normally is from the beginning to the end, like it will have like a section, just like the body.
Okay.
Yes.
Because there was one work that I did. When I aligned to the center, it moved to the left. And that day you asked what happened. You understand? Then I never created a section. So when I now created a section, then I now use margin octo. The work just went to the center immediately.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is okay, I get you. I think I'm getting you now. But this is on which project is that? Which particular project?
Let me check my phone. I don't know.
Because it now what is happening is it depends on the project. So actually, your design, your approach you take, it all depends on the approach you take depends on your design. So this approach I'm taking is because of the way the design is coming, because there's actually a footer. There's actually a footer, a navbar, like that, like 3 sections. Probably those ones just have 1 section, and that is why we took that approach. But now we have like 3 sections, and then the essence of this container is what we are solving for. So what you're asking is as if you don't have these 3, these other 2 are not in the picture. So it's as if you only have these ones. I don't know if you get my explanation.
Okay, no problem. Let's continue this now.
Okay. But please just follow me.
No problem, sir.
Okay. So now we are adding the content. Where's the picture? Okay, I think I have the picture now. Why is it locked? Oh, good. Okay. So I have this now. So we have our staff. Let me see if I can copy this. No, it's a picture. So I have our staff, contact us and about us. So quickly do that. This is let's say this is our let's call it H2. Our staff. So, and I told you guys something. So we are doing UL, and I told you why we would do UL. Anytime you have a list like this thing, you use, it's just a convention, like a best practice. Oh, sorry, contact us. So I'm going to use shortcuts. About us. Good. So we have this grouping, and you see the essence of creating like 2 siblings here, 1, 2, so that we can apply a style like justify content. You understand, space aside. I'm just telling you why it's being structured also this way. So when we flex it, we will see how it plays out. So for this one, we have card. Oh, sorry. We have a div. I'll give it a class of card. And then in this card, we only have 3 items: image, and then we don't know the image source. We just keep it like that. Then the next thing is we can create a div or not create a div. We can just do H, not H, like a paragraph. Is it really? Let's do H3 or H4 for this one. Then we have Jane, Dev. Oh, sorry, Math Designer. Math Designer. Okay, then the second one where I design stuff. So I design stuff. Stuffs. Please, just give me like 10 seconds. Let me pull up something. Okay, good. Can you hear me? So
yes.
I did.
Please, Lucky. In the first section, you gave a class container. In the second section, you still gave class container. Won't it affect during CSS?
No, it won't affect. So these are 3 cards. So I'm just replicating 2, 3. Then we have our footer. So we can do like a P, and we call it code. Is that C? Okay. I think we have copy, and close it. Okay. So this is our HTML. So you can see how we replicated everything. So we have can you hear me? So you can see how we took our design based on, after breaking it down, we have 1, 2, 3, 3 contents. Though we grouped it here. And you see why we need to do this grouping using UL. And I've told you, once you are working on like nav items, the best approach is anything that has to do with list, use UL and group them together. So, and then we have our card, this card 1, which is card. You see that I didn't do card 1, card 2, card 3. I've been trying to correct you guys, but you still, it's like we enjoy using container 1, container 2. And I will show you I will still do the right thing. So this is it. Now, the next thing is we'll go to our CSS. Good. So let me open something here. These 8 numbers, it will go. Use this one. Any of the 2. Okay. So the next thing now is our CSS. So there's something called breakpoint. Was it mentioned was it mentioned in the video? Breakpoint. So this is how it looks like, what we've done so far. Was it mentioned in the video?
Yes.
Breakpoint, right? And they
Yes.
mentioned on breakpoint. So let me search for media query breakpoint. So trust me, I don't cram all of this. And this is how I search. Because how many things do we cram? So let me look for standard breakpoints. So let me check. Did you see this instruction?
Yes.
Good. So there's a breakpoint I'm looking for. I don't want to use all these percentages. Oh, I'm even seeing them already. Sorry. I've seen that. I think this is what I'm looking for. So these are the breakpoints I'm looking for. This is like from phones down to, okay. So these are for mobile phones, small screens. So you have like this one, and then these are from mobile phones down to tablets. Then you have for desktop, and then for large screen. And you see how I'm going to just copy and paste, but I'm not going into this now. This is when, so I'll first code the mobile view first without, I just want to let you know the concept of breakpoints when I start doing this. So let's come back to our design. Figma is a little heavy. Okay, so let me open this side by side. Good. Let me do Control B or Command B here. So we have our navbar, which is what we are starting with. So we can do navbar and we give it a width of 100%. Okay, so we target our container. So we do dot container. We don't want to tie the container to any parent because we want to repeat the container here. So we don't want to tie it to its parent. If not, if we tie the container to navbar, do you know what I mean by tying it to navbar? Like I'm now doing something like dot navbar container. It means this container would not work. This tiny style I apply here will not work because I've already said that the style I want to apply now should be only applied to container inside navbar. So, but I want a general navbar, like a general container. So what do I want to do? I want to give it a width of, let's say, 850 pixels. And then I want to give it a margin 0 auto. And you know the 0 is top and bottom. And the auto is left and right when used to. So this same stuff will be applied to this container. So because that will be the alignment. Oh, but remember now, this is, I'm not doing for desktop, this is mobile. So I will do something like 300. Do you get it now? Because this is mobile view I'm doing first. So it's not web desktop view.
Which will not be much.
Yes, we should not be much. Thank you. So let me give it that. I could even say 280. Let me leave it at 280, which is fine. So the next thing I want to do is our nav bar. So I think I will, instead of coding everything, I will flip the nav bar. Like I will do the responsive view of the nav bar, and then you appreciate it before we do the other one. So instead of doing all for everything first, so the next thing we are doing is, now look at the way I want to target my H1. My H2 rather. I'm doing navbar, I'm not doing container. I'm doing navbar H2. Did you see that? And there's a reason why I could have done container, which is this. But now container is general. I'm using container as general style, like general class for everything. I don't know if you understand, but I'm using navbar to target any H2 within this zone, within this section. Is that clear? I'm just answering a question where somebody might think that why am I not using container? Since container, why am I using navbar?
It's clear.
Yes, and I'm saying I use navbar here, container here, as a general class, because I'm also using container in here too. So, but I only want to target H2 inside here. So if I do container, I'm introducing bulk for myself. So I want to limit the style I'm attaching to H2 to only navbar. So that is why I'm using navbar here. Is that clear? Please,
Yeah.
I need a response.
Yes, it's clear.
So now I know that in here, I'm seeing a general color here, which is color white. So instead of me to add H2 color here, I would rather add it here to the parent, and I put white. Sorry, I want to be using the proper, instead of white now, I want to use the proper hexadecimal code. So what do we do? If there's no, I don't, because it's left aligned by default. So there might be no need to style this H2. So I'll just leave it as it is. Probably, let me see, maybe margin or padding or something. But instead, let me just leave it like this and do dots. So it's not compulsory that you must add a style if it's not necessary. If there's no need, you don't need to add. You can take it out. Navbar LI. So let's see how that plays out. I'm saving here also. Is it H2? Yeah, it's H2.
No, for the H2, like the font size, how about the font size? And
The H2 is already bigger. H2 is bigger than this thing. Oh, good. So we can't see anything, but they are there. Like, we can't see anything, but I know they are there. Can you see?
background color.
So because it's white, so it means from the design, we need to give it background color. So let me click and look for the background color I gave it. I think you guys should be getting comfortable with Figma so that we can be dropping designs on Figma and they can be using the exact color. Oh, pick now. Oh,
Like
sorry.
that.
They are grouped.
Yep.
Oh. Okay. So we have this color. I've copied it. Oh, 0F. So that is the background for this thing. So background color. Oh shit. Then I do this. So let me save it and see. Good. So with this now, I know what to do. Since I'm coding for mobile view, I want to remove, who can remind me how we remove this border around this thing? So let me put it on mobile view.
We use body, we set it to margin 0.
Good. So we are doing that immediately. But so let me pick, so we use this to toggle our view to mobile view. So let me select, okay, it's iPhone HR, which is fine. Let me increase the zoom so that I can see it more closely. Good. So let's do that. Let's clean up our work from the start. So body, we give it margin 0. Save. Good. So what am I saying? This other one.
The white one.
Yes, the white one on top. Sorry, I'm supposed to add this one.
Yeah.
So if you are confused at any point, you inspect. So I believe there should be a margin somewhere. There should be a margin somewhere. Sorry, let me take it out of phone so that I can see where that margin is coming from. Oh, that is my H2. So let me do the same thing for not just body, H2, paragraph. I want to remove all the default margin. Which other thing? H4. I have H4. So good. So I've removed all the default margin that came with it. So let me take it back to responsive view. I don't like this font. So let's do font style. Is it font style? Is it font style? No.
I lost font.
I think, no, it's font family.
Font family. Sounds very far.
So I want it to help me. Yeah, good. So we can use, let's use Gil Sans.
Serif.
Okay. Is this one? Oh, it's looking somehow, but it's fair enough. At least better than that other one. These are too thick. But it's okay. So it's just for illustration purpose. So you can see that I attached this to the body so that everything we have it. Sorry, I don't like it. It's looking ugly to me. Eh? What forbid?
Look at use Gil. Try Gil. I think Gil is nice.
Which one?
You get the one where they always tell us now. Serif something.
GI is nice. GILL. Yeah. GI. Yeah. Try it.
No, the one I just used now.
That was the one he just used. That
are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, she is bandana then.
Bandana. That is the one we've always used. Yeah, this is fair enough. Okay, I think now we have something going. So we need to remove our list style on this one. And I think there should be a margin somewhere, but let's just do that. List decoration. Okay, oh, it's list style. So we just give it list style none. We don't want any buttons around it. So we'll still inspect. You see the way, even myself, I'm still inspecting. Oh, there's a padding on. The padding is where? That is what I want to see. So I noticed the padding is on the UL. Can you see? Padding, there's a 40 pixels. And there's margin there's a top and bottom margin. And there's a 40 pixels to the left. So which I'm going to take out now and then add my own this one. So let me just add UL to this one, to this list, to take out this thing. Let me add padding 0 to, yeah. So it takes care of all of this. Good. So instead of me removing it and updating it, I just take it out. So this is like a reset code. Like I'm doing resets. Aside this one, this is not reset, but all this one I'm doing reset to what is it called? To to the default style that came with our browser. So we can see that so we need to add some spacing to the top and to the bottom. So let's see our preview. Let me put it on mobile view and then increase my zoom. Okay. So I think it's just margin and padding of H. Where is our H2? H2, not container, H2. So we can do, so for the nav bar, let's do a padding top and bottom. So padding, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Padding top and bottom, let's do a 10 pixels, and then 0. We don't need left and right. So that will create the space between the top. I've saved now. What's wrong with it? So you can see that space. So instead of me to now see the approach I want to take, instead of me to add a padding or margin bottom to like on the H2 and the li. So I'll just add margin top, like see what I want to do. I'll just add margin top to the LIs. So once I add margin top, it will create that space for me. So this one, I'm just showing you to see my thought process now. So if I say margin top and I give it 10 pixels. Sorry, let me add it to, not here, let me add it to this one. This one seems as if it's only the first one I'm styling. So let me take it out. Let me add it to this one. Control V. Margin top 10 pixels. So adding it, I'm adding it to this one and this one, just the top. I don't know if you get what is happening here. So I added a padding to the container, to the nav bar first. So that gave the spacing to the top here and spacing under. So instead of me to now start to do on my H2, a margin bottom or padding bottom, whichever one, and then I will now do on the li. Instead, I just did for this li, which we are seeing here, for the margin top of the li. So which added 10, 10. So if you inspect, you will see what I'm talking about here now. So you can see if I check this li, you will see 10, and on this one too, you will see 10 up. Is that clear? Is that clear? 10 pixels. Yes. So we have this, but I'm seeing, oh, sorry, it's margin top. So look at the push here, because I specify just margin instead of margin top. So let me save. You see it will align to this one now. Good. So we have this. Now, how can we make this responsive? Just the nav bar alone. So what we'll do, we look at our container. But before we start, we'll first create our, so let me pick let me pick this one for tablets. So I'm just copying this one straight up. I don't need to cram. So this is for 760 minimum weight. So I'll come here. So let me do this, please. Oh. Okay. So I want to create more room so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So now, I've not added any style. I'm just leaving it by default. If I don't need it, I'll delete it. So it's the navbar I'm working on. And this is where it gets a little tricky. So what I want to do now is to, oh shit. So I want to make it look like this. You guys already have idea. Sorry that I've made this one smaller, but you already have idea of what I want to do. So this is our navbar. So I'll come here. I want to style my navbar separately. So I'll say navbar. So I want to display this as flex. Oh shit, sorry. So it's a class.navbar. So what this happen is when you expand the screen and it sees this width, like it sees this width upward. When from the minimum width, like this, the minimum width, it will begin to count upward. So if we see 750, it will not apply this style. It will apply only this style. The moment it sees 768, 769, so this will be the style that will override this navbar. That is what I want to do now. So I want to do a display. I want to display flex. I want to display flex, and then I want to do justify. So what do I do? Which justify content do I use?
Justifies content center.
No, it can't be center because I'm spacing between. I need a space in between the nav item. So it's
okay. Yes.
Because now this is the desktop portion now. So I'm just applying these 2 lines of code and then I will save to see what is going to happen. Let me see my work. So you can see on mobile view, it's still looking like this. So let me switch to responsive view and change the layout. So let me select responsive. So it's still like this because we've not gotten to this minimum width. So let me do 7. Let me change this 6 to 7.
Sorry.
80.
You said what?
What did you say?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's not changing. I've changed it here, but I guess it's not changing because my page, the view I gave it is less than that. So let me increase and see. It's supposed to change. Okay, so definitely it's not changing. I need to inspect. Let me see why it's not changing. So let me see navbar session. Oh, yeah, I know why it's not changing. So this is it. So we applied to the navbar. Did you see? We applied it to the navbar, and then this is where we want it in our container. Please just give me a minute. Okay, sorry guys, sorry. So this is it. So we applied this style to the wrong thing. Did you see? So we need to create another CSS. This, sorry, just be prepared for what I want to do. It's a bit weird. So it's a bit weird, but follow along. Is best practice. So instead of me to create, so we need, instead of me to, I don't want to attach another CSS. I could have easily done something like this, like what we have here. Now, so let me explain myself. Let me explain what I want to do next. We applied a style, space between, and we didn't see it reflect. only for us to realize that we applied to the wrong class. And then when you apply flex and space between, we are trying to target like two contents that want to push apart. So you must have two contents, but here we only have one content, which is a container. We only have one child inside it, which is this container. So it's not giving us what we want. Look at it. Inside this, look at where my cursor is. Inside this navbar, sorry, this is the navbar. We only have one child, which is, what is it called? Which is this container. So I want to apply a flex space between. And for you to apply that, you need two children, at least two children that you push aside, which is the H1 and the UL. Are we together?
Yes, that means there should be another div.
Yes. So the implication is we can do two things. So the implication is we can do two things. The two things we can do is this. Is either we create another div. Good. Let me even show you that part. Is either we create another div inside our container, and then would now, oh, so, and then we'll now push all of this into it. So, and then we give it a class. Let's say, we can say nav, let me give it a class of, yes, of nav content or nav container, whichever one. Then with this nav container, we can now do this. We have two options, so, and you guys will tell me which one is better. So I don't want to tie this nav to this one because we might need it in some other place. For now, if I don't need it, I will tie it up. Sorry, nav content. And then we now say, I'll move this. So because this is mobile, remember this is mobile. So I'll say flex display flex. Remember the default direction for display flex is what? Is column. So we say direction, sorry, it's row, sorry. That should be, so we need to, and for flex direction. Oh, why am I making typo now? Flex direction, column. Yeah, so we have this. Then, so this won't be navbar again. This will be, so we'll now apply this to this and save. Remember, I told you we have two options to take. So this is the first option. So this is it. So let me save my index.html. How desperately you want it if you really. So let's inspect and see what we've got.
You are here to save your edge. Okay.
Yeah, I've saved it. So do we have our, let me check the content, container, nav item. Good. So you can see the media query, 7 this thing, flex, space between. Oh, did you see what's happening? The flex direction that is seen is column. So we need to change it to our flex direction to row so that justified content can be applied properly. So flex. So the thing is, any style that you didn't update, so any style that you didn't update on this one, to do this, it will be carried over. Please, who is that? It will be carried in here. So that is what is happening here. So I need to update this nav So flex direction. So on our desktop view, what direction do we want? Do we want it to be row or want it to be column? Who is answering?
I think it's column.
It can't be column. It should be row. Because this is our desktop view. This is our mobile. So we did mobile first. So let's
sorry, please. This one you are doing now. Huh?
Yes.
Is it mobile? Is it mobile?
This mobile first approach. All the code that you see from top, from this 1 to 29, these are the code that is responsible for mobile view. The one that we are doing is for tablet upward, tablet desktop upward. So this, any style you apply here now will be updating what we have here. So I'm saving. I just saved. So did we see? So are we seeing our changes? You see that they are not stacking on top of each other.
Yes.
Good. So we'll still flex this one also responsively. The UL will still flex it responsively. But for now, if we inspect now, we've been able to achieve, you can see, let's increase. Okay. Oh, good, perfect. Look at our line 12 on the CSS. The width we specified is 280. And that is why it is still small. So on our responsive view, we need to update that width. So I'm going to just copy this container and update our container for our responsive design. And we need to do that before this one. And then we'll paste. So this one, we can give it like 7. Let's give it 7. Let's say 700. Yes, let's give it 700. We are not updating, anyone we are not updating, we are taking it out. So we are not updating the margin auto, it remains. This one, we are not updating the display flex for now, but we are taking it out. And then I save. Now see responsive design in play. Oh, let me save this. I've saved now. Okay, good. Did you see the way it pushed everything? Now, let me take it to our mobile. Let me change the view to mobile view. Let me change to small screen, and then you see. Did you see what's happening? So this is how you write code. This is still mobile. It's still the same. As far as it's this within the same width, that is what will be applied. Did you see? So, but the moment we go, let's say we go iPad Air. Look at the width. You can see the way it's pushing everything aside. Is it clear? So it's the same concept we would use, and then we'll code up everything. Are you guys following?
We are following, you know. I feel like this one is deep, small.
Don't worry. When you watch the video again, it's just that I don't know how to make this video short so that it will be concise. But then that is just the concept. So the concept is, look at what happened here. The container here is for the mobile container. We set the width to 280. We now say, oh, for desktop, we don't want the screen, the width to be, let me reduce this one. We don't want the width to be, so once it sees 768, let the container width be this. Then let the flex be row. Instead of flex direction to be colon, let the direction to be row and justify content to be space between. So for this one, we left this justify content here to just use the default one. We didn't want to alter it, but here we are adding it to it. Is that clear? So now we still need to...
why did you use that 700? I know it is to make it width, but how did you know 700 pixels would be okay?
Yes, why is 700? The width we are specifying here for the minimum width for the view, for our viewport is 768. So we needed something smaller. If I imagine if I'd given it like 800, it will make sense again because I'm giving it a container width that is even beyond, that is more than the width of the gadgets that we are using.
Okay.
So it will disrupt everything. So we needed something smaller. I could use 720, 710, but if I'm giving it something too close to this 750, then the margin we are trying to create will not achieve it, both on left and right. So the more I reduce
Which
this,
closer to it.
yes, we'll be defeating the center container that we are trying to create. So if I do this 600, you can see how it will pull this one closer. You can see the margin is wider. So if I'm giving it like 760, let me give it like 760, and then you see it in play, you see that you will not really appreciate. I've given it 750. I don't know why my stem is taking time to respond. So you will not really appreciate what you are trying to achieve. Is that clear? So look at it now. This is 760. Look at the way it is. The margin is now very small. So that's why I chose something like 700. So that you can see the margin play out clearly. Is that fine? So the next thing we want to do is this one. And remember that we are trying to alter our style, yet we want to preserve our mobile view. So any style you are altering, you are keeping tab on your mobile view at the same time, so that anything we are changing, the mobile view is not being disrupted. We are distracting you. So please give me a minute, guys. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, so let's style the UL. Most of this thing, it will become clearer. So we have our UL, and we just did the list style. But we need to, on our UL, so let's just do this. So like nav bar UL, and then, so we want this to be a row instead of column. So and we've not stated a display, we've not created a display yet. So we need to create a display for it here. First, let's see how it will look on our mobile while we are creating the display. It's a little tricky, but once you get hang of it, it becomes very clear. So let's add a display of flex here and give it colon. Remember, everything on our mobile view is top to bottom and it's just colon. So we might just copy what we have. Oh, I'm going deep. So sorry, let me retract. Okay, let's continue. I hope I won't confuse you guys, but let me just copy this. Display flex colon. Control C. So I'm adding it to the UL. I'm not sure anything should break. Nothing should break. Control S. Let me save. And my system. So nothing changed. I just saved. Nothing changed. So we can see that nothing changed. And then, so what we are going to do, same, we'll just flex the direction rule. So I'm just copying and pasting for it to be fast. Save. So let's see what we've got. So I clicked here to take it out of the responsive view. So you can see this. So we did this with our responsive view. On mobile view is colon, while on what is it called? On on
tab.
on tab is row. So we know that we can add margin or padding left and right to this one, and which will create that space, which is very simple. But I just want to create that concept of how it's being done. So, but we notice that the top and bottom, there's a margin to the top of this one. So let me add, I think that should be on the UL, on the LI. Yeah, on the LI. So let me add to this LI to remove the padding. LI. To reset it, good. So I want to be in control of what is going on. Maybe I would not use live server. I don't know. LI, it shouldn't still be there. Sorry, let me just refresh. I've added LI to it, it shouldn't be there. Oh, I added it somewhere. Oh, yeah, this is it, margin top. Okay, I reset it here and added it here. Oh, okay, cool. Now, so for our mobile view, I'm going to remove this one. We don't need it for our web view. That's our desktop view. So I'll come here and update it and change this one to 0 because we don't need it. So did you see? And then we want to do something also. So in as much as I've taken it out, I noticed that this one is up too much. It's not vertically like aligned, like along the horizontal row. You can see it up. You can see it up. While this one is taking the full seat. So what we can do is we can do align items. Please, you guys should get very familiar with your align items center. So let's see how that plays out. And I'm adding it to only the desktop. And this one, I'm adding a margin right, left. So let's add a margin left to it. Margin left. Let's say 10 pixels. So did you see? So let's still check our mobile view if anything changed. Nothing changed. Did you see? Our margin top is still there, which we specified here. You can see it there while inspecting the amber, this thing. And then the one with margin left is not showing because we don't need it on our desktop view, on our mobile view. Now, when we switch to our desktop view, you can see our margin left showing here. Did you see? Margin left, but there's no margin top. Yeah, we don't need to add any margin. Is that clear?
Yes.
So now I showed you this is one way of doing this. So there's another way without adding a div to this, without adding a div. You get it? Without adding this div. So if you don't want to add div, and what are we just trying to achieve with this? We are I hope this will not confuse you guys, but let me just show you for the sake of showing. So what if we don't want to add a div, an extra div? So we have this style. Notice that this nav content, we didn't attach it to any nav bar, to any parent. So it's like a general style. So where we have, so we are using this one for our mobile view, using this one for our web view here. So I don't want to add style. What I will just do, I will add a second class to this. And then I'm going to delete this div and delete this. And then let's save and see if we'll see surprises. It's refreshing. So let's check. Did I confuse you guys, please? I hope I didn't. So now you just got the concept that a CSS, you can have more than one class on it. The class is so quiet. I know. I can imagine what's going through your mind. So please, that's why I'm expanding so that you can look at the code very well. You notice that I did not need to add, I did not need to delete anything on my CSS. I only moved this CSS and added it to this container. And you'll be wondering why it worked. Now, the reason is this. On this nav content, what we created here, we are only adding a display of flex and display direction. We didn't add any width, like width 30 or with anything. So we are not changing the layout. We only created that div because we want to find a way to add flex, to flex this content here, to flex the H1 and the UL, to push it aside. That is the essence of that div. So me taking away that div and just adding this class to this container, we are achieving the same thing without adding a div. Does that make sense? Or it's still difficult to grasp?
I think it makes sense.
The class is so quiet, and I'm afraid.
I think it makes sense.
You say?
It makes sense.
Agu, what do you think?
Go ahead.
Like, do you understand what I just did? Or you need me to explain?
Yeah, but it might get confusing later on, because had it been maybe in the nav content you added other things that you needed to be, as in you added other things that will take effect between the H2 and UL. For you to how do I explain it?
Yes.
Had it been you added other things here now? I don't know, I don't know.
Yes, I get that. If I'd added other things, it will add to the complexity. So I'm not, for this one, I'm even going to change the name. Instead of using nav content, I will just say flex content. Same thing here too. So you just know that what he's doing is flexing, like he's just flexing the content. So I don't know if you understand. So because we are just creating that div. The div we created was for us to flex this content. Now we are now saying that, oh, we don't need to create a div because that div is not serving. It's not like there's a very tangible purpose of that div. It's not like it's adding, we are like this container now, we know that it's having a purpose, which is we are adding width, adding margin auto to it. So, but we only created that div because we want to have a way to flex this content. Trust me, we could have added this this flex to this container so that we would not need to create this flex content again. But when you move to Bootstrap, you will not struggle. When we move from next week, we'll not struggle. So I'm introducing some of the things you will see next week gradually to you. So, but when you now understand the concept, you will not seem as if Bootstrap is another crazy things. So this is the idea, the thought process, how they made Bootstrap. So It might sound weird, but just get familiar with it gradually. Are we making sense?
Yes.
So thank God the video is recorded and you can always watch it and get the explanation again and again. So good. And notice that nothing changed when we flip our responsive view. It's still the same and we are fine. So the next thing we want to do is our card. So let me download this image. So because we have only one image, I'm just dragging it in straight. So I'm not putting it into an asset. If we have multiple images, then we need. So let me just call it profile in IMG image. Good. So let me close this one. And we now want to add it. Profile image. So I'll need to copy this into the other three. Sorry, let me do this so that we can have better view. So, and let me add profile image to this. Profile image. I've not been checking you guys' CS code like that. So I hope you guys are adopting this odd approach. Please let it be an habit.
Sorry, the video that we watched, after
Yes.
that auto, they added width, they added height.
Yes. So you can do that, but it's not best approach. It's better you do it with CSS. And when you start it with CSS, it will override what you have here.
Okay.
So you can see that I would continue from this, the mobile part. So I'll continue the what we have card. So inside this card, we have image. So, but before I even start to style anything, let me see. Now I've added image to it. So let me preview and see what we have. Good. So, and what we have here, what is going on here? Why is this view like this? 700 this. Oh, probably. Did I change anything? Oh, hold on. I think the style that I added affected it. Navbar, this. So let me see. I've added flex component. So it's not flexing. Why is it not flexing? Oh, okay, maybe I didn't save, yeah. Okay, so we have this guy here, and so we want to build our card. Let me see our design. How does it look like? So we have a, okay, so on this card, to style this card, so who can help me with this card? So I think we have a padding first inside it. So padding, let's give it like 20 pixels all around. So I can see a border radius. Let's give it 10 pixels. What else again? I can see a background color of this card. So let's
Sorry, you did border radius. I thought the border radius has to do with percentage. 50%.
50%.
I'm not styling the image, I'm styling the card. This card.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I've seen what you're doing.
You guys want to hit me raw. See my badass software engineers. Oshe. Okay, so background color should come first so that it renders the color before all those other stuff. What else again? What else am I saying? Box shadow. So let me copy the box shadow that I have here so I can inspect with the CSS. Let me see. Box shadow. So let me just copy this. Oh, sorry. Box shadow. So let me save and then view our work. Whoa. So remember, there's nothing to worry about because it's the desktop we are doing first. So we know that, so for this container, so we can use the same approach. So we can say margin, I hope I'm not going too deep. So we can create a style that in this container, because we want to give it, look at what we are doing here. We want to give it like we can see padding to the top, like to the bottom. So we can, in this container, which is encapsulating everything. So we can say, we can create like a margin vertical. Let me just say that. And then, so let's do margin vertical like 20. So the reason why I did 20 is like for the 20 pixels. So I'm doing this. Oh, I need to add my dots. So I'll now say margin top and bottom. Top 20 pixels, both top and bottom 20 pixels. Left and right 0, and I close it. This for mobile, so I don't care for the, is it margin or padding? Anyone could work. So, but I prefer padding. Oh, let me save this. So I prefer padding, yeah. So I prefer padding and not margin. Because margin, because we're adding this to the container, it will alter you saw that it just altered what we added to the container. So because on the container, this is what we have. Where's container? So this container, you can see our margin also. So I'm adding padding. So with that, we still maintain our this thing, but it's not giving us what we want. So we'll still do that with the card. What else again? So each of the cards, yeah, we can see the spacing to the top and also to the bottom. So we can increase it, let's say 50, and let's do 50 here. Hope it's not confusing. 50. Oh, let me save this too. Oh, yeah, now save now.
One moment.
Oh, good. So we have our 50 here. Yet we are not still getting close. So what do you guys think we can do? So we need to add a, let's move fast because of time. Except if you don't mind, then padding. Why am I doing padding? So we need to specify the width first of our card. Width, we said the width should be what? Let's say 280 pixels. What is our, it cannot be the same width with our container, so we'll make it like 250. 250 pixels, and then we'll close. Then our card, we need to move things to the center. Let's say text, align, center. Okay, so we are getting close, but we are not there yet. So we can reduce this width to 200. Good, we are getting there, but not there. We can, our card, let's add margin bottom to the card. Margin, since it's just the bottom, so we can just specify it out. Margin bottom, let's say 20 pixels. So it's coming alive. So we need to style the card image. So now we'll now do card img, and then you can give it border radius 50%. Then you can also do a margin bottom. Want to push the content down a little. Margin bottom, let's give it 20 pixels. Let's save this. So our H2, our H4. So let's do another dot card H4. Margin bottom, let's give it 20 pixels, and let's see how that is. Good. So we are getting close. I feel it's still too wide, so let's give it like 150. Good. So we can see that it's not at the center. So it's not fully aligned. What can we do? So these are card. Can we do margin auto? Let's see. Adapt margin 0. Oh no. So let's move this to the top. Margin 0 auto. Let's see how that plays out. Yeah, it's not at the center. It's not at the center. But then let's look at our design. Sorry, can you guys hear me? So
Yes.
Yes.
what we can do is this needs to be at the center, but the width of our card is, so let's increase the padding of our card to, let's say 80. Oh, 80. Let's align 80. Let's do 80 here too. And then save. Let's see what we've got. Oh my God, I didn't save this one. Oh, I didn't save this one. Okay. 80. How am I doing 80? No, that is not what I needed. So this card, I need it to align properly with this item. So, and I don't have control over it. So if the moment we center this, we don't have control over the space, except we want to make it left aligned. Let's see. Yes. And that the implication of that will be that would have this space to the right, because remember it's responsive design. So different item will have different widths, like different phone would have different widths. So you cannot specify a particular width. So it's either we keep it like this, or we do 100% width for the card. If we do 100% width, it will be within this. So this is what we are, then it will align. What is happening here? Why is this flowing out? Okay. Okay, pardon. I taught you guys something yesterday, and I'm going to apply it now. That is box sizing. So I'm going to use border box so that it doesn't flow out of the border. So let's say good. So we can do this. If you give it 100%, it means the card would always be at the center, and it might not look exactly the way we want, like horizontally like this. That means, sorry, what I added here, this should still be 50. That should be, sorry, let me revert this back. This on the container. What I added here should be padding. So the padding inside should be, let's say, on the card should be, let's make it 50, so that it will give us that horizontal feel. I'm saving now. Okay, so let's increase the margin button of this image. Oh, and we are still going to do the responsive view. So margin button is 50. Margin button for the H2 is 50. So let's save and see. Oh, that's too much. So, but that's too much, man. So let's do 30. Okay, it's fair enough. I just want that, let it look horizontal, like thereabout. So the image, I think we can increase the size of the image. We are using the default image size. So let's see, what is the size of this image? 100. So we can increase it. Let's increase to width. Let's say 150 pixels, and height also 150 pixels. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, you guys are sounding tired. Oh my God. Don't worry, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Now so this is the style for our card. We're almost there. So sorry, I didn't code all of this before. Let me change this to 50 so that I want to increase the space in between. So you can see that I'm deliberate about where I'm adding each style to. I'm not just doing guesswork. And I'm seeing the results that I want to see. So we have this. The spacing might look too much, which is fair enough, but it's close to what our design is giving us. Can you see? Now let's now do the responsive part. So most time when you are doing responsive layout, you watch out for your container. Your container will help you a lot. So let's view this. So this is what we have normally on mobile, on web view. So, but we don't want this. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. So how do we achieve this? So what do you guys think we can do to achieve this? And where do you think we can apply this? So let's make the class more interactive.
I think from the card, we are going to like reduce the width if you want it to be like that.
So we gave it width of 100%. So what are we reducing it to?
Since it's 100% is taking the entire width, probably we can reduce it to like for the, are we doing the responsiveness now?
Yes, now for the desktop view, we are done with the mobile view.
We can give it, we can try 50 pixels or 50.
50%. So I want us to
pixels.
Pixels, 50 pixels for the card.
Yeah, for the, not for this one, for the other one.
For which one now?
For this responsiveness, yeah, there. I can see 2 mouse moving. That's what I mean.
Oh, no, it's 1 mouse. Or card speaking.
Yeah, so we can reduce the width. Probably we can try 50 pixels.
This is percent, oh, this is not pixels, so.
Yeah, I know. Okay, 50.
So width, we are doing it on the go. So what is the width? You say 50 pixels, right?
Again, let us try it. Like if it is not, because I know 100% to take like all
sure.
the width. I want to reduce.
See.
Yeah.
The width of the container from the second phase is 700 pixels. So you can't give it to a width of 50 pixels now. It will be too small.
Is it not the card you are talking about?
The card of the cards, not the container, the card.
So we are reducing the width now. Let's see what's going to happen. This is Bisola's solution for us. So
700 divided by 3.
So Bisola, this is what you want us to have, right?
No, this is not what I wanted to. I mean, I'm just okay. Let me just say something. Like me, I used to try the width, like because I know it's width you are going to use. So me, I used to try different pixels if it will work for it. So I don't really know how to like achieve the exact width.
So
okay. let's try the width of.
So this one
or 210.
Oh, 210. Okay, it's now guess what? Let's guess our way.
No, what I did was
so but are you giving us what we want?
Since the container is 700 pixels, you understand? Okay, now I divided, and we are going to flex it into 3. So I divided it by 3. If I divide by 3, it gives me 233 point something. So that was why I said let's use maybe 210 or probably 220.
Okay, so let's do something, because let's change it. Let me do something, because if we change this, the whole container now, everything will scatter. Because we are using the same. Remember, we said it's general container. So let's say, let's tie this to main. You understand? So I want this to affect only the container that is inside here. So you say we should do what? 33 divided, let's say that should be like
233.
233 container. So should we save? So let's remove. You didn't agree with Bisola, or you want? Let's keep it like this and see. So this is what we have. Have we achieved what we want? So this is our. So this is the 233 that is stated. You can see it 233 for the width. And look at our design. This is what we want to achieve. So what do you think we can do?
So the card you can now.
You guys are just clicking on the card. You are not paying attention to some other things. What you are seeing here is stacking up top of each other. You need to make it to be horizontal. You still need to make it in a row. So how do you achieve that first? You're only looking at the card and resizing it.
No, now that one I will now apply this thing. Display. No.
So where you apply?
Okay,
display flex now, so that it will be in row.
Yes, where do you apply it to?
The card.
To the card. The card is just one. So let's try
let me-
it. Us to be trying things. So flex direction. So you say row, Abi, to the card. So you need to be deliberate where you are adding each title. Look at the card. This is one of the cards. So you want to flex it through. Let's see what we've got. So let's just scatter everything. Card. So this is what we are having. It didn't work. So is it supposed to be on the card, or where is specifically is it supposed to be on?
It's meant to be on the
Yeah, I'm confused though.
I think it's meant to be on the main container.
On the main container.
Sorry, Lucky. Please, I want to ask, what is it? What are we looking for first?
Good. This is what we are trying to achieve. Because if you don't know what, this is what we are trying to achieve. What we have is this. They are stacking on top of each other. We need to make them to be in a row for our mobile view, for our web view, sorry, to be like this. You can see them sitting side by side. So I'm asking, how do we achieve it? You say flex direction row. Where do we attach it to?
Not on our flex the content.
Good.
Because
or container.
on the flex content.
Content
on the
or
flex. No, flex content. Where
okay,
we have flex that.
Oh, we've not added this is the HTML here now. We've not added flex content to the container. Okay, are you saying we should add this flex content to this container or to the card or where or to the main?
The flex content. What we are trying to achieve there, it is in column and we are trying to turn it to row.
Yes.
To be in row form.
Yes.
And flex direction is what most likely solution to change that.
So my question
so
is,
the question is where do we add it?
Yes. Is it on the card? Is it on the container? Is it on this main?
It's meant to be on the container.
It will be on the container.
Good. So instead of writing another CSS, we can easily copy this one
and place it on the HTML.
We can have two. Yes. Like now we have three. We don't have two again. Now we have three classes, which is fine. And then we get rid of these ones. Because let's just get rid of them. And also this one. So let's save our work. Let's save it here too. And then let's see it. Is it easy? Responsive design is very easy now. Is it not? So, but we notice that there's no space in between it. But let's expand. Let's see, maybe is our this thing. Let's expand and see. So, oh, this is going beyond our viewports. If you notice, look at when you inspect. I'm trying to inspect now. So you can see that it's going beyond our container because of our width. So we can reduce the size of the card of our width. So this card, we only need to update. So we can update the width. So instead of giving it 100%, can we do that? Sorry, let me be sure about, because we want to create that gap in between. Yes, so we can give this card we can give it, instead of a width in percentage, we can do card width of, let's say, 220 pixels. Let's see how that plays out. So just to create that space in between. I added something again. So we notice, sorry. Let me see. Oh, okay, I see. The padding left is too much. So let's give, we don't need padding left. Yes. So that is, it's squeezing this one off, of course. What else again? I think we are fine. So we can increase this one to, let's say, 750, just to get better weight on our stuff. And you see that it aligns properly to the left, sorry, to the right and to the left. So let's check it on our mobile view. So, and we see that we are still fine. So nothing changed, nothing spoiled, nothing scattered. So what else again? This is the last part. Do you guys still want me to do this part? Or we are fine?
Finish now.
Why your voice call you like that?
Lucky, please, sorry to draw you back. Can you hear me?
Don't knock my student. Oh.
Lucky, please, can you hear me?
Okay, now draw me back.
Okay, so when you were talking about this card, for instance, you said something that the width, it was together, but you said something that the width is too much. How are we going to know that the width is too much?
Yes, now look at our total width here now. This is just math. 750. You understand? And we gave it something like, I think it was 100% initially. You know, when we didn't state a width here, it will directly use 100% that is stated here for the card. So we are telling it that this card should take the entire width, like, of every available space to ensure that it meets up. So it will take on 100%, 100%. So imagine what we are telling this card, that when we are stating it as 100%, is that we are telling it, when it does the calculation internally, we are giving it 250. And when we do 250 times 3, that is exact width that was stated here. And there will be no space in between. So we need to give each of the card a width that is lesser than 1/3 of this width, so that we can have space in between. So if we do 250, which is exactly 1/3, so this is what we are going to have. Did you see?
Okay.
So if we don't state, if we don't give 250 and we leave it like this, 100%, we say it will take 100%, which is the same thing. If I save it, it's behind the scenes to calculate 250 for us. That is it, because 100% of this will take the full width of each space. So,
yes.
So we reducing it is to create that gap inside. Is that clear?
It's clear.
So I'm going to drop my code base, this code also, to guide you guys when you are working on this. I only feel for you guys for the next video that you're going to watch. You'll be all right.
Emma, wow, okay. I go importer, exporter.
You'll be all right.
My container there for ICO. Now, waiting at the reason like this.
Okay, let me quickly do the footer. So the footer should be easy. So looking at the design, it's the same thing. There's nothing responsive about the footer. It's just to give it a background color. Let me look for it. You guys can even do the footer. I trust you. You guys should complete this thing now. So I'll go and eat. I've talked now, I'm hungry.
So like food.
Like you don't eat, Abby. I do like food. So let's use this. I think it's the same color for the footer. So let me copy the background color. What else again? So let's just do, the color should be white. So you notice that I wouldn't have to put any style for the footer. FFF3. Then text align
Center.
center. And that is odd. I think that might not be odd. So let me just add padding top and bottom. Padding top and bottom 0. No, top and bottom, let's say 5 pixels. Then left and right 0. What else? That should be fine. So let's save this. So I don't need to add this footer to the media query because we don't have to. So let's see if, whoa, why is it padding too big? Oh, footer padding, no, I said 10.
You use 50. You use 50 instead of 5.
Yeah, so sorry. Let's just keep it 10. Yeah, 10 is fine. Oh, okay. So it is, oh my God. So this is actually our footer, but it's hanging. So, and the reason why it's hanging is because we don't have too much content on our page. So a very easy trick is to give this guy a minimum height. Do we have a style for main? Main. So let me just style it here. We don't need this one. We don't need to style this one. So let me just do dot main and give it minimum. So there's min height too. Min height. That is minimum height. Let me give it 100%. So let me see. Let's see. Ah, it didn't work. Why? That should be, let me try VH. So this is the main. So what I'm trying to do is I want it to take the height of, like, let's take the minimum height. So let me try VH. Let's see how that works. Yeah. Oh, but that's not too good. It's pushing it above the viewport. So this is not what I want. There's a trick to it.
Maybe you just do 70 now, so that it will come up.
So let me close this one and see. No, footer is supposed to stay always at the bottom. So, but because I gave this one view height, so let's just say, oh, let me do that. What is the height of this stuff? Let me inspect and subtract from it. There are several ways. If you just Google how to keep footer at the bottom, you will see it. How to keep footer at the bottom, you will see it. So I'm expecting now, open for me. Come on. So I want to see the height and use that calc. So you guys would you don't have to cram, like I always say. You will just, so what is the height of the width? 39. So let me just do 40. So I'll do something like this, calc. So calc is short for calculator. So minus, let's just say 40 pixels. Or the actual stuff is 39. I don't know why it's 39, but 39 pixels, and then I close it. So let's see if this is going to work. Oh my God, what is the space? Maybe I missed something. Okay, I think probably it's the space that I didn't have. So, but you guys get this thing. I've done it several times. I've forgotten this thing. And I don't want to waste time to be Googling how to keep footer at the bottom. So, but just know that our footer is under and it's showing. So, or rather, instead of doing this, let me just give it 75 VH. That would be better. 75 view vertical height. 90. Good. So let's keep it at 90 or 91. Okay, so it's fair enough like this. So, but this is not a good approach. I'm just trying to rush up the work, but there's a standard way. I know it's minimum height and like 2 CSS type that's been added, but I can't remember now. And I don't want to waste our time by Googling it. So this is what we have. So let's view it on our, let's check it on our mobile view and see. So I think we are fine. So you can see when we switch to iPad, we have this view. Please ignore this one. When we view to mini, we have this. This is because they're almost of the same width. When we view to this, we have this. So I think we are fine. It's still there, it's not hidden. So our mobile view.
So please, Lucky.
Yes.
You've been using pixels instead of rem. Why?
So the implication is this, you know, people have different school of thoughts that rem is you just saw me use pixels and it still work. So I don't know. I use pixels, trust me. Rem, if you are working in team, let me just give you this. If you are working in team, please, you can use rem. Now, I don't want to increase the complexity. And because if I'm using rem now, you'll be seeing 0.1, 0 point something, where maybe I'm using 20. I don't want to increase the complexity of all of this. So, but for now, leave rem and stick to pixels. Some things come with experience or with growth. Just stick to pixels. Keep it simple for now.
Okay.
Yes, please keep it simple. Ignore rem. So as I'll be giving you much video, you'll be seeing different ideas and use rem, use this. It will just increase the complexity. So for now, I just showed you I use pixels and we still achieve the same thing, because the idea is on mobile view, if you are telling me rem will not make your work automatically responsive. Trust me, it won't make your work like it will just make it responsive automatically. No. The thing is, there's a way it's I don't know how to explain it. Like there's a way it works, but let's just keep that aside for now. Like let's not increase the complexity or confuse you the more. So please use pixels, because at the end of the day, when you want to target your mobile view or your web view, you can alter the pixels. Like you can change maybe the padding here. Let's say the padding here is 20 or is 10. On web view, I can decide to do something like this and add footer. Oh, sorry. And say footer padding, and I give it 20 pixels. Like I can alter it, which is fine, which does not change anything. So this is it on mobile view. When I switch to, let's say, tablet view now, so you will see that, did I say, this is because of the zoom level. If I switch to 100%, this is actually, let me even take it out. You see that the pixels there, what is it called, is higher, is more than this thing. So you can alter it. Please don't get too confused into the nitty-gritty of rem and all of that. But you can Google it, like why is rem, and dig more into it. But it has not altered my work in any way. And I've been working with this. So please don't get confused with the entire little details from some of all those videos. But it's good you know, you understand. So let me stop recording for this video to know. This is like a 2 hours video. So any other question?
How do you see the mobile view? Where do you click? And also